everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Facebook challenge in this group. I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to see if no, it's not going to let me tag friends in again. That's okay. For those of you who are watching on the replay, hashtag replay. For those of you who are playing catch up, and if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Amy Mingan, and I am an intuitive mentor that helps women in service-based businesses move from a one-on-one consultation, trading time for money, into a one-to-many model, which saves you time, builds bigger cash flow, helps you have a greater impact with your clients, getting them amazing results, and it also helps to prevent burnout. And that's what I'm really, really passionate about. Given that I've got a naturopathic background and I myself have had adrenal fatigue in the past, it's one of the things that I've figured really, really helps practitioners and basically women who do service-based things to really stand on top of a foundation in order to really show their expertise, but also serve such a greater audience. And it makes it better. It's like a win-win for everybody. So as you arrive, just so that I know who you are as you pop on, can you please pop an emoji or say hello? I want to make sure that all of the comments are working. I've got my computer open next to me, so I'll make sure that it is going live as well. And then we'll get started with the training. So today we are talking all about the pre-launch phase. It's like before you even get started in your challenge, you need to do all of this stuff first. So this is a very practical day, and I want you to make sure that you are taking notes. And anything that you have to ask a question about, make sure you pop that into the comments right away so that I can answer it for you on the fly, and so that you can get clarity and integrate extremely well on the fly, and we can work together. I'm just getting notification on my computer that somebody is commenting. However, it is not showing up on my phone yet. So we will just, so Courtney's here, hi. And I think Beck is here too. So as you come on, guys, just pop a comment in. I'll follow the comments on my computer so I can answer them. It's really funny how it does this, but thankfully I have a way around this technology sometimes. Okay, so let's get started. When it comes to the time leading up to when you should or could run your Facebook challenge, or whatever it is that you're calling it, your training series or your education series, the best amount of time that I've found, because I've played around with the different amounts of time in the lead up, is 3 weeks. So plan your content for 3 weeks. And what I mean by planning content is it's not just throwing promo posts, sign up to your audience. You can do strategically placed content. Now, remember what we talked about yesterday. We talked about what you're going to promise these people, who these people are, what types of problems they have, and what types of problems you're going to solve for them by the end, like what their outcome is likely to be. Now, what I want you to do with that information is think about some content that you could pop in this 3 weeks. So you think about how many different ways. So it was Danny yesterday who was talking about that she was going to do a sleep challenge, or Nikki yesterday was talking about the anxiety stuff. And I know Beck, you were talking about, it's basically like a whole life overhaul, like helping people make healthy steps. So what are the things, you might already be talking about it in your socials, but what are the things that you're going to be talking about in your challenge that you could theme throughout your content that you share on your social media for the next 3 weeks? So let's just play it like, say you were starting to plan from today. What is the first thing that you could talk about that lets people know that you could help them by promising the thing that you're going to give them in your challenge without even saying that you've got a challenge coming up? So, you might talk about, let's say Danny might talk about something to do with waking refreshed, and people are like, is that even a thing? Like, can people wake refreshed? And she can either do a video. This is the thing. This is the really big point. So make sure you note this and make sure you're brave and actually do it. Because number one, static posts don't tend to get as much engagement in comparison to video posts. Video posts are doing really, really well, and they don't have to be super long. They don't have to be live videos. You can like pre-record something and upload it. You can actually create like an animated post that still counts as a video post. So everybody, are you using Canva right now? Because that's part of our homework. Let me know if you're using Canva. Hit the like button. Most people are, and if you're not, canva.com, so canva.com. Sign up, it's free. Now what you want to do in Canva is you can use a little animate your still posts. So if you've just created a whole bunch of still posts, you can go in and animate it so that it looks a bit more jazzed. You know, you might add a little sparkle to the side of it, or you might make the words pop in like a PowerPoint slide, for example. So, hi Rach, good to see you. And hi everybody else as you're coming on. It doesn't tell me who you are as you come on, so just add your comment as you come in and I will check it on my computer. I'm seeing it coming up. Courtney says yes, she loves Canva and she highly recommends. So do I. I think Canva is so functional and so amazing, and when you're in the mode to create content, you can do so much in a really short amount of time. So in Canva, there are a lot, like so many different hacks that I could share with you. But what I want you to really focus on is updating the types of content and posts that you post on a daily basis. And it's going to be more specific to what your challenge will be about. So you're just going, all right, for the next 3 weeks, my theme is about my Facebook challenge and the things I'm going to be talking about in my Facebook challenge. Obviously, you're not going to give away all your information just in your Facebook or Instagram posts. But what you want to do is give them those little snippets of information that's going to be really helpful, really valuable. And then at the end, your call to action, so a CTA or a call to action, is if you're in Instagram, go to the link in my bio to register. Or like what I've done today, I asked you all to come to this group. And so you come into the group so that you can come to the training each time, right? Make sure you do those entry questions on the way in. Yes, Sam, I know you're a Canva lover. So the reason why I'm looking over here is because I can see the comments on my computer. So Sam's really awesome with Canva, by the way. So if anyone needs help with Canva, hit Sam up. She's really great with it. And you'll love today's homework, Sam. I bet you've probably already done it without me even having to ask. So number one, get that content created. Make sure it's different. Make sure it is animated. Make sure there's a mixture of videos, of stills. There's also that one called carousel. So they're the ones where it looks like a still pic, but you ask people to swipe. And so on the front, it's probably like a heading. You know, let's say, want to know why you're not sleeping. Have a look here. Oh, it could be to do with sleep hygiene. You just go through a few sleep hygiene things with them. To find out more, I'm running a challenge, That's your caption on the side, right? And you get them to go over to your bio. They click on the bio, they go to your group. Now, start to see where these things are going to start coming together, right? So say you're developing all of this content. You're going to get 3 weeks worth of content ready. That's one structure that we're setting up today. Don't have to do it all today, but just write that down. For your 3 weeks, you want to be prepared. You want to have everything planned out. And it might just be something in your head that you go, if you work more on the fly, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to do a Facebook Live on this date. And just leave it there on your calendar. And then you know that you're going to show up and do your regular Facebook Live, and that's what you're going to do it on. That's just one example. The other thing that's really, really going great at the moment is Instagram Reels. Does anybody follow me on Instagram? Because if you do, I know quite a few of you do, but if you're not currently following me on Instagram, I'm just really getting into Reels right now. I find them really fun, but I'm probably one of the more sort of like performer type people who likes to have a bit of fun and don't really mind making a bit of a goose of myself. So I find it fun because it's a part of my personality that I can play with. Compared to me just delivering trainings, that's another part of my personality that I play with. But the fun side of it, not everybody gets to see that, you know. So it's like it's another part that people get to know me. And so if you're not currently following me on Insta or Facebook, it's at Amy Mingan. You can go and find me. You can go and watch my reels and see how I do them. That's a whole other thing. Like I could do some tutorials on how to do reels, but have a quick Google, see if you can do one. They have such longevity over any other type of post at the moment. So if you want your post, like say you're only able to post a few times a week, if you made it 3 reels a week, you would be going great guns compared to say 7 still posts. So make sure that you're doing it. Hey Carly, good to see you. All right, so we've talked about videos, we've talked about still posts, we've talked about carousels, we've talked about reels and animated posts that you can create in Canva. So anybody else doing any other type of posts at the moment? Just remember, you don't have to do all of them all the time, but it's a really good idea to use these multiple parts of each platform because it feeds the algorithm. So it's actually a really good idea for you to at least try it out during this 3 weeks that you're on your lead up to your Facebook challenge or your education series, whatever you're calling it. All right. Once you've created that content, you need to send them somewhere, right? Now, there's a thing that goes on within social media, and it means like just because we've got a new follower doesn't mean that they're actually ours. Like they might have had a look at some of our content and they might have liked and engaged with some of our things, but it doesn't mean that we can necessarily reach out to them at any time because they might disappear like that. Now, the reason why I say we need to send them somewhere is usually you need a registration page, or otherwise known as an opt-in, which if you have some type of third-party email provider like MailChimp or MailerLite or ActiveCampaign, you can create an opt-in with that. Otherwise, alternatively, you literally just create your Facebook group. I call it a pop-up group. So create your Facebook group and have in your entry questions, just like what I have, you ask them about a few different things and ask for their email address. And that's one way of utilizing an opt-in. So if they choose not to add their email address, I just reach out to them and just say, look, it's part of the entry. It's part of that reciprocation process that you enter your email on the way in and then the training comes to you. So I'm definitely not somebody who spams people, by the way. I only ever email when I've got something important to say. Like I'm not somebody who sends very like multi emails a day or anything like that, because I actually don't think that it's useful. I'm very much a quality over quantity type gal. So if you're collecting emails, I suggest that for you as well, that it's okay to reach out once a week or once a fortnight. But if you're doing it every day, sometimes it can be really overwhelming for people, even if you are in a launch. So don't over email people and just let them know that you'll just be reaching out to them when you've got something important to let them know. And it's actually of benefit to them. Okay, so you've got your content being created, you've got your opt-in. So then you've got a way to collect emails. Next, you're creating your Facebook group. So this is part 3. Create your Facebook group, because in your Facebook group, you need to make sure that this is that place where they can congregate and they step into your energetic container that you've created. That is part of the promise that you've made, the problems that you're going to solve for them, that you've called in that particular type of person. And it's also really important that by the end, they're going to end up with the outcome, given that they're going to do all the homework that you set for them, right? So it's really important that as soon as they go into your group, that you've got a little bit of content that they can interact with there. So whether you've got a welcome video that you've pinned to the top, or you might have a get to know you post, an icebreaker, you might tag them in a post and welcome them. There's lots of different ways to do it. And if you need more ideas, I can give you some ideas on that. I'm just going to check the comments, see if there's anybody else with comments. No, looks like we're doing okay. Facebook story, would this be the carousel equivalent? Oh, Courtney, no. A Facebook story, I didn't even mention stories. I love stories. So stories on Instagram and Facebook, completely different to a carousel. So what I might do is after the video, I'll put a couple of those examples into the group so you know what I mean. I have no doubt in the world you have interacted with a carousel post before. And it's more so an educational, like how-to. They're usually a how-to or some type of like giving of information rather than just like an overall get to know you type post or something like that. So I'll give you a couple of good examples and I'll pop them into the group in a sec. So once you've got your Facebook group and you're asking them to interact, you might put a poll up in the group, start asking questions to invite them to start interacting with you. Because if you've got people who are starting to come into your group 3 weeks before the training actually starts, you want to keep them engaged. You want to get them talking to each other. You want to make them feel like they're supported. You want to get them asking questions, and you can start answering some of their questions too. Now, we're about to come full circle. So once people are adding into your group, what do you notice when you go into a group? What I notice is always the colors. So Facebook in the settings allows you to create a certain color within the group, and often you can use your own branding colors as well. And it's really important that you have, this is your homework, a banner, a Facebook banner. So in Canva, you have the ability to create banners, posts, stories, reels, so many different options using your same one post. So if you've got the paid version of Canva, which hopefully you do, you can do this magic resize, and you can just tick the ones that you'd like from your one original post, and it will resize it perfectly. So from a banner to an actual post to a story that's more like, this size. It's fantastic, and I highly, highly recommend. Now, what you want within your banner is a picture of you, the name of the challenge, and a tagline. So it's kind of like what I had for you guys. I'll read mine out to you. It's at the top of our group. So I've got Facebook challenge, boost your leads by learning how to create and run your own successful Facebook challenge. So that's what my promise is of this particular Facebook challenge, right? And so bit by bit, you are going to create your title and your tagline and pop your pic in, and use the colors that are your branding colors. If you don't currently have branding colors, use the colors that look really nice. If have a think about what's the look and feel of that you want to evoke in the person who you want to come into your challenge. So I used to play with colors a lot when I first started out because I didn't have a true set of branding colors. I would get bored with colors a lot, so I would just choose new ones. I'd choose bright ones sometimes and neutral some other times, and black and white sometimes, and now I've got a set branding palette that I use that I'm really happy with. But no doubt by a couple of years time I will probably change it again, because as I evolve, so do the things that I like. So you're very much welcome to change the colors whenever you want to, but just make sure you've got some sort of continuity between the colors that you're using in your posts, in your socials, and then the colors that you're using in your Facebook banner that you'll put into your Facebook group. So to recap, what do you need in the first few weeks before you actually start your Facebook challenge? Number one, you need to think about the content that you will create. So get a blank calendar out and write the different things that you're going to do. You could pre-record, you could schedule that in. I've used Later. I've also used Plan That. I've also used Facebook Creator Studio. So there's a few different things, a few different options for you. Does anybody use anything else? Number two, make sure you have an opt-in. So you want to be able to send those people with your call to action to a certain place, so you can collect their email, so that you can send them a reminder, and so you can let them know when you've got other trainings coming up in the future. Number three, create your Facebook group or your pop-up group. And then number four, create your banner with your branding colors. So that is your homework for today, is to go to Canva and create your Facebook challenge banner. Just remember, this doesn't have to be the one that you use absolute in your challenge, but I want you to create one, so at least you've had practice creating one, and it helps get you in that mode of, okay, that's how I do it, and I know what to do when the time comes when I'm holding my challenge. So make sure you do #day2homework and post your particular Canva banner into the group so we can all see what you're doing. That would be wonderful. And anybody has any questions, please pop them into the chat box. I've just seen a question from Courtney. So you wondered about organic reach when using schedulers that weren't Facebook Studio. Well, here's the thing. I've tried quite a few different ones. It's all pretty much of a muchness, to be honest, Courtney. Hot tip. This is a really hot tip, you guys. To get better organic reach, you actually have to feed the algorithm. So go and spend a little bit of time that you comment on someone's post, or comment back to the people who will comment on previous posts, or go to an ideal person's post and comment on that. So you want to do really meaningful comments, particularly on Instagram, but make sure you're liking and commenting, and you like have a look through people's stories. So you're actually feeding the algorithm first. You want to do this for about 10 minutes either before or after you post. That will feed the algorithm, and that will help your organic reach. Another hot tip. Once you've posted your post, you can share it to your stories on Facebook or on Instagram, and then put a little GIF that says new post, and it sort of flashes at people. So that's just another version. It's like, where can you repurpose your content so that it's reaching more people? Because some people I know only ever look at my stories on Instagram. They don't actually consume any of my posts. But then sometimes people will be on my post and then they'll go to my stories. How do I know this? Because I follow it through my insights. So that's another way. Could you come back to the pre-recording tools you use? Pre-recording tools. What do you mean by that, Valerie? Pre-recording tools. Do you mean like what do I record on, or do you mean the scheduling ones? Because the scheduling tools, Facebook Creator Studio. Second could be Plan That. So I'll actually just type these in. How about that? So Plan That. Plan has double N, by the way. Plan That. So I'll pop that one in. And Facebook Creator Studio. I like it because you can do Instagram and Facebook in the one spot, which is great. And I've also used Later. The only thing is, none of them will do a carousel post. You have to go in and do a carousel post on the fly. But hey, if you have already created it and it's on your calendar and you know that you've just got to go in and post it, then it's perfectly fine. It's just getting organized so that you're not scrambling thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to post today? What am I going to post today? You already have it all planned out and you know what you're talking about. You can jump into your stories and just say, hey, I've got this new post that just came out. So excited. Go check it out. And then you can, make sure that you're linking things in between your posts and your stories. So you're thinking about a pre-recording video platform you can put on Facebook later. Okay, so that I just use my phone. I use my phone. This is literally all I use. I just use my iPhone. Otherwise, the other options are you could use Loom. I'll put this on. This is more a screen capture device that I would use for like online programs. And that's what I've used. But literally on my computer or on my phone. And I've got a MacBook Pro, and I've got an iPhone 11. So they're the different ones that I've used. And literally it's just like an upload straight in. I would save them all into a different folder onto Dropbox and then work with it from there. So if there's anything else that you guys want to know, just let me know. I'll pop back in later. Make sure that if you're watching on the replay that you do #replay. So excited to see all of your day 1 and day 2 homework, everyone. You're doing awesome. And yeah, hopefully that gives you some clarity around the structure of what you need to do before you start your challenge. So thank you all so much for coming, and I will see you all tomorrow morning.